series. Clem, Reynor, best 7. This was played offline in Paris on Saturday. We're catching up on the replays in case you just joined us and not sure what's going on. This is the upper bracket final of this $20,000 event. And in the top left-hand side, repping Team Liquid will be the blue Terran player, Clem. And he takes on the red Zerg on the bottom right side, Reynor. Clem playing in front of his hometown crowd. And this again is an offline event. It was a packed bar, sold out. As always, the French community showing the passion and the, strength of their community. Their community is absolutely bonkers. It's always amazing to see what they've been able to sustain for so long over in France with the Comeback TV, the old gaming guys. It's always amazing to kind of see what they are constantly able to conjure up and do and fund as well, because again, this whole thing was a crowdfunding initiative that has absolutely been successful. So fantastic stuff. Clem vs Reynor, game 1 of this best of 7, and it is going to be a 2 racks opener from Clem up against a pool first from Reynor. So a little bit of a funky opening on both sides. Multi-racks Reaper versus a fast pool. See how that pans out in the next few moments. I mean, Clem's got to be smiling a little bit. Reynor's got to be smiling a little bit too. I feel like Hero was the bigger threat to Clem and Reynor. I mean, Reynor's had a great history against Serral lately. Clem, I think, is going to feel a lot better about his TVZ than his TVP, so I think they're both going to be happy with that previous result of Serral coming through and getting that victory, getting that W. I mean, no one really wants to play Serral either, but at the same time, like I say, I think they both kind of feel like Serral is beatable for them, right? So, yeah. Well, Reaper's on the way then. Let's see what is going to happen. Bertrand on the way from Reynor, so that fast pool, early pool, could already be kind of showing what's going on. We're going to shoot a few shots off. A couple of Reapers coming over, Command Center coming through. We have ourselves the link speed building up as, like I say, the gas is there to build the roaches. So Reynor just going to open aggressively in this series. They've probably played since then, but the last time I think I cast a Clem Reynor was in that finals of the Krakow event straight after EWC. That was a banger that featured a lot of the aggressive builds from Reynor to give a lot of opportunity and to give a lot of fun situations, honestly. It was a fun series. It was a full 7-game series. Clem just about inched him out in that one. It was going to be that. Actually, going to do a lot of damage on that queen. The thing for Reynor is he's kind of okay with this as long as these Reapers don't see the roaches and as long as the preparation for Clem back at home is minimal, because Reapers aren't going to do anything against roaches, right? And we do push the Reapers back a little bit right now. Just the roaches start to move across the map. So this is very well executed from Reynor. He's scaring the Reapers off. Now Clem might have just glimpsed it there. Well, it was very close as the Ling's still trying to chase for the Reapers. Now he definitely sees it. So now the Reapers know for sure that roaches are on the equation. And yeah, that was the first time he spotted it because the bunker only just comes down now. Instantly double bunker. Wall at the front is scary because it does mean your add-ons on your depots are going to be pretty exposed here to the roaches and ravagers. Zergling still coming up. The ravager about to complete. Couple balls, we knock at that depot. And just continue to try and punch through for a little bit more damage. Depot's going to get low. Obviously, you're going to aim for the SCVs with the biles. Going to get a couple. Access is given. Do we want to go through? The problem is... you see the double bunker, right? And that's kind of the issue right now, is we just see the Roach Ravager going to be swinging up at the barracks. I mean, that's going to be one barracks going down. I mean, that's already a success story. We can now pick away at the rest of this as well. Again, the Ling's pulling back, Ravager going down. Just going to be seeing the Ling still trying to steam on in. I mean, if you're going to go for this as Reynor, you're going to go for it. He's still nothing but build units behind this, so he still has to commit at some point. I actually worry for him in that regard. I think this might have been better to build up off the back of. I mean, it's a very committed attack. It was only ever 19 drones, but I feel like right now you can kind of see just the amount that Reynor needs versus what he might get attacking into double bunker is feeling tough. Last couple of corrosive valves coming down. We started to get some SCVs. The first bunker is not even close to going down. Tank popped out. Isn't really even needed in the defense as much as we just needed sheer number of units to push this back. And Clem is going to get a defense at the front. Another corrosive valve going to try and come into play there, but not going to really reach for too much just yet. Not going to be able to do too much for now as the Heli Marine Stim all building. Another couple of vials coming down onto the tech lab there, the barracks as well, taking some shots for the moment. A couple of vials. It's going to come straight through onto the depot. Barracks going to lift off. Siege tank going to hit the Ravagers. A couple of vials. Rack's taking some damage. Just seeing the Ravager's going to be right there. A few more shots still coming through. At this point, obviously, Reynor's just gearing up to go again. But if he didn't break through before, I really kind of doubt in the breaking through this time. You can argue that maybe the tanks can be taken down with some vials and you can maybe try and flood in. But the odds are really stacking up against you here, right? I mean, this bio army is getting a bit stronger. The double tanks is good. The double bunker is still very much so alive. There's always times where, like, the Terran is not prepared for the follow-up wave. But in this case, I just think Clem is, right? He's constantly fighting for this wall off, which is not coming easily at all. There we go. We get it down again as we try and stream through, but the tanks are going to do a lot of work here. And this one should be ending in favor of Clem, as the aggression of Reynor is not going to work out here as we opened up on Grezvan, which is one of the old maps brought back. Might be one of the reasons Reynor tends towards some aggression. In the top left-hand corner, we'll start things off with the Red Terran. He's going to be the hometown hero today. I can only imagine the venue was going wild anytime he was on screen, doing well, introduced, winning, whatever. In the top left, our Red Terran player from Team Liquid is Clem. Up against the Blue Zerg. In the bottom left-hand corner of the map, we have got Reynor. So again to game number 2. Kick this off and see where we're going to go. See what's going to happen. See what the players are going to get up to here for our second game of this series. Clem obviously opened 2 racks last game. He will not do the same this time around. Just a single barracks coming in initially here. Just committing through to a little bit of a cheeky 1 racks opener for now. Take a couple of moments, get set up. See where we're going to go. You see coming down, here's just the Reaper opening. It's very standard so far. Here for Clem opening up. Wonder if we'll see any mech from him in this series. See, mech a little bit against Protoss lately, so he's a little bit warmed up toward that concept. Really, crazy either way. I mean, it may just depend how the series is going as well and how he's feeling for it. There's again a couple of Queens and a few Zerglings already on the way out here initially from Reynor to bring those all up to life and into play. The drone pulling across to the right side a little bit. The Reaper hops into the main base, and again, a chance to see a little bit of what's going on. Lings is going to go after that Reaper. Lings is going to get taken some damage. Reaper going to fight, and we get a drone. never bad. As the hatchery is down in positions, taking that forward third. The SCV is blocking the bottom side of the map, so forcing the triangle here, forcing the expansion toward the Terran early. As the Reaper backs it up. Command Center about to finish in the natural. Factory ready to swap on over to the barracks as well. Starport building, Hellions on the way. Just see ourselves, the Queen going to be there to threaten the Reaper if it gets a little bit too close, and it takes a step forward right there, so a moment of back and forth. Queen's going to get back onto the Reaper again. Cryptoman very nearly went down, doesn't quite. Once again, Command Center, Starport, a couple of Hellions continue to come online, a couple of drones in the link speed building as well. So far, so good. To Queens and the link speed all coming up, so all of that coming through. Reaper Hellions still on the way through there, and actually going to try and dive forward. It's slow lings, the link speed not finished. Actually saw that one of those Hellions take quite a bit of damage as they get through, so they will have a chance at some drones, but not for long. As we get into the main base, though, the Queens won the low ground, so these Hellions are low. Still opportunity. The drones can pull. I mean, the problem is the Hellions have already lost their HP, so they can't threaten and jump onto the drones if they pull near anything. Which is the only reason why we don't lose more, probably. 4 drones is still not a bad start, though. The extra Hellions into the natural now is Clem looking good early in that kind of mobility around the map and that chance to kind of open up the map and just run in for damage. I was going to say it's going pretty well, but then it does get shut down. The Lings got the surround in the end. Nice cleanup. Lings going to chase. Reaper getting pushed back for the moment. Actually, Lings are really trying to get to towards those couple of Hellions as well and keep on fighting. There's a Banshee showing up as well as Clem looks to continue the aggression here. Cloaking on the way, over halfway done already, and if we can get that cloaking up, obviously opportunity for these, opportunity for more drones to just keep on going down. So a lot of opportunity and chances there. As again, the cloak comes through, the Banshee and the stem coming through, all of that coming around for the moment. Get 2 more drones going down, so again a good job of kind of coming through on that one and just getting a couple more kills for the moment there. Again, Clem just causing chaos. The thing is, we might not have seen too many workers go down. It was still good for an early game dive. It was a lot of pulled workers, right? There was multiple mineral lines pulled off from mining multiple times over. That income graph you can see is already trending heavily in Clem's favor. He's already ahead by an SCV over Reynor. Alair is only just finishing. Bayness is only just finishing. Like, it feels like we're going to have a moment in this game where Clem's going to fight with Stim and Medivacs. And Reynor's probably not going to have Baneling speed yet. And that's going to be a very scary moment. Especially as these Banshees coming in look to get even more damage done into the natural of Reynor here. Bottom side of Persephone for this game too. Reynor, like I say, I imagine this is his map pick, but it's not starting the way he wants it to. It's definitely not going how he would like. And maybe that map pick being Reynor's as well kind of encourages Clem a little bit in terms of how he plays. Maybe in this map he does want to then be a bit more aggressive with the Hellions and the Banshees because he knows he doesn't want to let Reynor get set up comfortably on the map that he wanted to play the most out of the maps that remained in this series when Veto System came through. So a lot of little things to kind of really keep in mind and to think on here. There's the 1-on upgrades, the Stim Pack all coming through, Medivacs and Marines coming about as well. Bring that online and getting that all settled into place. That Baneling speed still coming over. We're going to bring that straight through then. Get that online. Aerobase, Baneling speed. Again, there's the Hellions and the Medivacs joined up together. The few Marines coming across too. 1-1 upgrades, Combat Shield coming about. Melee and Baneling speed all coming online as well. So a lot just getting set up right now. Hellbats are going to be right there. The couple Queens in some trouble. The Zerglings looking for a wraparound, but yeah, like I said, Medivac attack with Stim before Baneling speed is ready. It's always going to be super scary, and Clem's going to take another nice advantage from this. Another very effective and efficient trade that's going to push him into another, stronger and stronger position here for now. As Marines still stepping back as the Lings and the Queens threaten to come forward. There's a couple of Banelings that obviously want to try and come through as well, so they're also trying to make their moments. Like I say, with no speed, it's going to be rough, and then the Banshees show up, Overseer trails behind, so it takes a moment or two to turn onto those, and the Banshees actually make a pretty good go of it, getting some good damage dealt, and again, increasing their situation in this game heavily. You can see the stem up, the Banes are going to go down, man. I mean, you just don't recover from this right now as Reynor. The Marines are still stemmed, the Banelings are not morphed, and we're going to start losing Banelings before they are ready as they pop out. I don't even think we can roll those toward the Marines, it's just unrealistic. And that is Clem taking the little things early. That kind of, you know, when we talk about Clem games, are not little things, you know, they're kind of big things. When he gets into those mineral lines, denies that mining, comes out in such a successful way, and does it so repeatedly and convincingly. With the Marines in the mine. Set up one more time. Hatchery is about to fall. Reynor was kind of out. Like I said, this game was not lost on this attack. This game was lost 4 minutes ago when those Hellions started running in, and Reynor did not get the pristine defense necessary to kind of... Clem really did succeed on those Hellion run-bys. He did stop Reynor mining. He did affect the income. He did affect the economy. And when you're as good as Clem and you're macroing very well behind all of that micro, you're just set. You know, you're just set to have a good time. And that's pretty much what happened. As Reynor sits in the bottom right side, he's our blue Zerg player in this best of 7, down 0-2. Definitely feels like it's time for him to rebound a little bit. Otherwise, this is going to continue to be a very difficult uphill battle. Top left, our red Terran player is Team Liquid's Clem. Game 3 of the best of 7. Like I say, Clem, gotta be happy with the bracket at this point. TVZ the rest of the day for him. Whether he wins or loses here, you know, there's only there's only Zerg players remaining, so. Pool first again from Reynor. Obviously, pool first in game 1. Got aggressive off the back of it. May not be bad to pool first and then maybe show aggression or not show aggression. You know, there's a lot of, best of 7, there's a lot of time to build up a storyline. Not just for us as viewers, to build up a storyline for your opponent and what they are seeing game to game as well. Get them to kind of change how they're responding and change how they are approaching things heading into the, next steps of the games as well. So, definitely interesting. Let's just have, the SCV heading down the bottom. Let's take a moment here while the scout comes off. Just again, remind you guys, if you're watching on the YouTube, do consider taking a moment to scroll down below the video and to give it a like, give it a sub. If you're enjoying the content and you want to keep on seeing more of it here on WardiTV, appreciate you. If you're on Twitch, don't forget to follow the channel if you don't already. And don't forget, it is September for 2 more days. Today and tomorrow is all we've got if you want to take advantage of the September deal. Bonus gifted subs if you gift 5. There's also reduced pricing on subs if you are not already subscribed, I believe, and an extended sub or on monthly or multi-month subs. So, want to check out those offers, make the most of it while you still can. Help us get back on track. We're running up back up toward 500 subs. So yeah, you can check that out. Support us if you're feeling generous. And we can get back to casting the game because double CC in production means triple command center build from Clem. We are going to have ourselves the Reaper and Queen just going to fight each other. Link speed coming about, drones in the Evo chamber on the way through. We're just going to be having the link speed about to come up as well. So link speed going to be finishing shortly. Queen going to fight the Reaper for a couple of moments. And we do have ourselves the starport building from Clem back on the other side of the map. If it gets taken down, it's going to be having, obviously, the Lings on the map. The SCV is going to retreat from the low ground. There's no follow-up to this, though. The bunker is not really necessary. There's no roaches or anything coming up in this situation here. Starport switches across to the tech lab. Get the Banshee on the way. And we can start getting into the Hellion Banshee, which keeps you very safe. And this, because Clem doesn't really know what's going on, Hellion Banshee is a very good way to just give him the best possible chance of being set up nicely. Hellions join up, a couple of Queens, Evo, drones, Carapace. Again, a little bit of everything coming through at the moment. Let's just have the Hellions heading down to the right. Third hatchery coming online. These Hellions are going to be arriving in a couple of moments, and we can take a chance to, again, poke about a little. Obviously, the third hatch is not super fast yet, so Reynor is not exposed. He's being very safe and cautious and slow going this game. Wants to guarantee that he gets set up, rather than taking damage, which results in him kind of falling behind and dropping off. Especially after the first two games. Obviously, game 1 he initiated the aggression, game 2 Clem does. Neither of those early scenarios have played out well for Reynor, and it feels like this time he wants to almost guarantee himself a route through to a mid-game, so we can get going from there. Hellions pull back, Queens gather. I see the cloaking coming up, of course, so the Banshees will have that. We've seen a little bit of speed Banshees lately as well. Not sure if Clem's going to crank that out today. Obviously, new PTR patch makes a lot more sense to speed Banshee on, but we saw a couple of players going speed Banshee lately. Oftentimes in TVP, but it could be a thing for TVZ. Obviously, usually you speed Banshee into kind of battle mech, but just bringing it up because Hyperfly Rose has kind of been on my mind lately, like I say, so it's been something that's been kind of here and there every now and again. Just keeping a thought towards it. Hellion Banshee commits through then, and we're going to start making some moves as we just have a couple of drones go down. The Lingers try and chase this off, trying to pressure this away right off the get-go, so doing what we can to try and ensure that this does not get out of hand. The Hellion's doing a good job jumping on those Lings though, and trying to get back toward that mineral line. Clem always trying to find as much as possible. Resources lost though favors Reynor, as he is the one to, well, kill a Banshee, kill a couple of Hellions. Only 2 drones and only 7 Lings lost, especially, I think, is very impressive in this situation. I am genuinely kind of surprised by that, because I really would have thought that the I really would have thought that we would have yeah, lost a couple more Zerglings at the very least to those Hellions, but not the case. It's obviously great to see, great to know. Yeah, that's a good plus for sure. Upgrades, the stim pack, building by for the moment, so again we get settled in for a little bit. See a few Lings going to run through and actually look for a little bit of an opportunity, jumping forward, trying to get a wrap around down the Hellions, and we actually do push this army back, so Clem not going to succeed as he sets up aggressively, and Reynor is going to find himself a chance to push this back and clean Clem up. One upgrade's about to complete, so Clem will have those upgrades now, but Reynor was able to take that fight with a little cheeky upgrade lead as well, so nice to be able to jump onto this. And you're going to fire a couple of drones, are going to take some shots there. Combat shield will build, the Banshee is on the way. Going to see that coming out, again +2 attack, combat shield all coming up. Marine Medevac barracks on the way through. We had a couple of Widow Mines on, and we'll just see our commands end up building up as well as we bring that over toward the 4th base in the near future. A couple of Infestors still building, get the melee upgrades going. Hive on the way. Reynor, with that earlier cleanup, really gives them a bit of freedom to be a little bit kind of, you know, just quick to move on through, and obviously he is playing without that Baneling Nest, playing straight into this Ling Infestor style, which we obviously talked about yesterday with Hearthstone. We saw it in the WardiTV Monday Cup from Shin. Just Ling Infestor, skip the Banes. Who needs Banes if the Terrans just target fire them down anyway? And you get to very fast ultras, and you kind of just go from there. Medevac's trying to sneak through. Marines is going to get turned around. The Adrenal Gland still building up. Get that Ultra Cavern building. And the Marines unload onto the low ground where we see the Zerglings able to come across, wrap around, and again get a little bit more work done. We lift up once again, we relocate again, and now we go down the left-hand side. Marines getting underneath, Overlord going down, and once more the Lings are going to come running straight across here, looking for a wraparound on those Marines, and they're going to start to find exactly that now. Once more, Clem just forced back as Reynor continues to defend. Supply not super high for Reynor, but he is also banking to get Ultras out. He's obviously very tech-heavy right now. This is a game where I actually don't mind the supply being a bit down for Reynor. Oftentimes I feel like that's obviously very bad for the Zerg, but I think his composition is okay with being in that sort of position. As long as he's not like 20 supply down, it's just like, you know, give or take a little bit of supply here or there. Yeah, I think this is pretty fine so far. Now we do see these Marines still trying to find a little bit extra. The Marines are going to stem down. We're actually going to get rid of this hatchery, so Reynor going to let that fall. But he's got plenty of bases. He had very good creep spread for the most part of this as well. Just going to see the bio turning back into this. Just going to be seeing the units getting pushed back once more. Nice fungal growth. Going to catch a few of the bio units. Medevac's going to lift up, retreating away. Fungals do have to be good here to try and help maintain this army from reaching you. We're so close to the Ultras. They're going to make our life so much easier. And I actually do think Reynor's done enough to justify getting to the Ultras. He's going to threaten the counterattack as well, which pulls Clem back a little bit. And yeah, that's a good counterattack too. He's going to jump right on top of some of the tech units over here. Good split against the Widow Mine as well, by the way. The single Zergling splitting apart last second there. The Ultras running up. They don't have kindness yet. They don't really want to get involved before that upgrade is done. It's so impactful for them. Imagine you get 5 SCVs out of this. Obviously, a fair few Lings going down, but Clem is no longer aggressively placed on the map. Reynor can continue to reset himself. He is still on 81 drones. I love where Reynor sits right now here in this game number 3. It's really looking like a good turnaround for him after games 1 and 2. I'm just about finishing his +2 armor upgrade. Can start +3 if he realizes it's done already. And again, Bio and the Libs just going to make their way back around the left side. Again, the Spire coming up. The couple of Ultras still building through. We've got Lings still in production. Ultra's going to dive onto the planetary there, so that 4th base not going to be allowed just yet. Wouldn't mind you can do the majority of cleaning up. Bottom left base of Reynor will go down, but he's rebuilding the right side. He's still maintained 4 bases of his own. If he keeps the Terran on the 3 base, which he's done so far, that's fine. This planetary going down is important, but this fight down here kind of important as well. And to go back to it as we see the Ultras starting to get in reach, and there's just not a great answer to Ultras yet. We're trying to get to some Libs. We don't really have the revenue to kind of build Ghosts at the moment, so just going to try and get Libs as kind of a stepping stone to Ghosts. You already have a reacted starport. Libs can kind of build off of there. You don't need more medevacs right now. Corruptors, Lings continue to build on through here. The 3-3 coming about. Marine Marauder, Liberator continue to produce on in. Bringing a lot of that straight into place as the Lings on the left side will go down. Liberator going to put some work on. Ultra's going to be there. The medevacs load, but they're going to escape away. The rest of that bio still coming about as we drop another depot down. Pulling down that supply actually repairs that depot. Reynor's all over this though. I mean, he's diving on the left-hand side once again. He's looking to kind of commit on the right. Yeah, the issue right now is the Liberators do force Reynor to maybe slow down a little and be a bit cautious. He's already got the Spires, so he'll build into Corruptors. That really is the only saving grace of Clem at the moment, is that he's buying himself some time with those Libs, which is why the Libs were a good idea. They were probably the correct thing to build into at that point in time. And they're definitely giving him a good opportunity at this point, as we see 12 SCV still going down. I say a good opportunity, like they're giving him a chance. As Reynor kind of dives in with everything, you can see that it may not be enough, especially because the Libs were unsieged here straight up. So they weren't even really ready to protect against these Ultras. The ones on the right side already, they are sieged up, but the entire army that was on the left is going to end up falling. As you see, a couple of units escaping into medevacs. The base, it's not going to die, but obviously it's kind of low, and it's still going to be an open area we can attack into again here as Reynor once we get healed up and built up and ready to go again. He's 170 supply. He's got a little bit of money in the bank. He's not going to be maxing out again anytime soon, but I'd say there's a pretty reasonable chance of him running through and just kind of, again, sending it into that army sooner rather than later. I don't think you want to give Clem too much recovery time. You're still starting 83 workers. You've been killing SCVs, so generally you're going to rebuild quick, go again, and just try and keep Clem pinned back And pinned down. There's a run by onto the natural. Is our observer going to take us there? He's just waiting for that Widowmine to fire an Ultra on Burrows. Yeah, Widowmine is there, but let's go look at run by. Yep, Ling is going to surround Ultra chomping. It's not going to do too much. I think it's just another one of those scenarios where you're just going to scare this, you know, kind of scare Clem, keep him back, make sure he's not running across the map at the moment. +3 armor still coming through. The melee upgrade coming up on the side of Reynor. Ling's in the Ultra, still building. Queen being added, +1 flyer attack coming in as well. Bioforce is heading down to the south. They're going to get sieged. We do see the Queen just about living there. The Bio going to step through. Corrupt to Ultra. Going to get chased away. The +3 melee coming up as well. +1 flyer attack also coming into production. Pongo comes down. Liberator going to get grabbed. Infesta's getting a little bit cheeky right there. Medevac's in some trouble. Medevac's dropping as we do see the Lings continue to go. The Bioforce being chased away. A lot of SCVs go down. I mean, obviously Clem got a few drones behind this, but the reality is that Clem does not really have a way to survive his economy being ransacked again and again. Reynor's obviously stuck to this very kind of... It's a very scrappy style, right? Where you're always looking to run in, you're always looking to trade, do damage, and all the rest of it. And that's exactly what we continue to do. Just time and time again, continue to aim for that exact kind of goal. It's worked because he has kept it scrappy. He's caught, you know, he has denied Clem's economy. 45 workers is not a sustainable position, especially not when the mules keep pulling off the line to try and repair. Right here looks as though we will save the planetary fortress, though. For a moment or two. Infesta's looking to try and get some fungals now. That Widowmine's going to shoot. Lands on a couple of Lings. You can even just see that Clem's running out of medevacs, right? Just, you know, he stopped to build Liberators for a while. The Corruptors came out. They actually got to start killing medevacs. So now you can see the Bio army is hurt and not being healed. And with a 100 supply lead. It looks like Reynor will get onto the board in this series. And we'll start to push back a little bit against the Clem dominance that came through on that game 1 and that game 2. Very Reynor game. Fast-paced, all over the place. Great defense, great attacks, great run-bys. Like I say, he really excels in a lot of these scrappy scenarios, and he really shows us exactly why in this one. GG's. Reynor gets himself a map win, and it's 2-1 now. And it's still in favor of Clem. In this best of 7. Fast day with Bjorn versus Shin, actually. He really was trying to be very abusive on this map. And, yeah, we'll go into it for game number 4 of this series, is in the bottom left. The blue Zerg player who will trail in this best of 7 is going to be Reynor. And the top right side, our red Terran player. It is going to be Clem. T-Rex on the low ground again here from Clem's. Going to get those both set up. Second barracks on the way, Reaper's on the way. Obviously, that's going to be a bit different to the first game of the T-Rex Reaper because Reynor is not pool first and not going to be aggression. We'll finish, obviously, get the couple of queens on the way. We're not going to identify the T-Rex Reaper now. It's not something you're looking to react to a lot of the time preemptively or anything, right? Just seeing this now, you know it's coming. You can prepare your queens and just figure out how you're going to approach this defense. People will shoot. Just gonna see a drone going to take some damage. Ling speed coming up. A couple of Lings, drones, the Queen all on the way through. Just gonna be seeing the Queen firing. And the Reaper take some damage. So a few shots on the Reaper, taking some hits going the other way. He's gonna fight, Reaper going down. You see the other Reapers coming up. The Lings are gonna be right there. And there is one Reaper going down immediately, so a couple of shots. Reaper gets through. A couple of Lings will continue to chase for that Reaper for the moment. So again, looking to get some work done. But the scouting does not make it out though. 3 Reapers, 1 Lung and 1 drone. It's a very good defense for Reynor. That's absolutely ideal so far. Speed will finish. Put Jumbo on the way. At the drone. At the Overlord. We just got the Hellions and the Marine coming up as we speak. It's just bringing a lot of that through. Stimpak is on the way. Starport still building. Currently about halfway done for the moment. Again, a couple of Hellions popping out in a couple of seconds here. It's going to be seeing the Hellions pulling back to the side. A couple of Lings getting jumped on. And it's coming back down. Creep Tumors, Queens gathering up. We've seen the Creep Tumor. You can take a little shot or 2 of damage. Living the Marine. Stim on the way. A couple of Hellions building. Those Hellions are going to go around that left side. The Queens are going to be there right off the bat. And it's going back through the center, heading to that upper right-hand side. And Stimpak is going to be done very shortly, the extra Marines. Just continuing through a couple of depots, Tech Lab on the way. Combat Carapace coming up, Lair on the way. As Lib gets down to the bottom. Hellions will come through. A couple of the Creep Teamers again picked away at Queens. They'll stand right there. He's going to go running, looking to get the wraparound. It's going to be seeing the Liberate sieging up. Lings is going to be there. Going to be seeing the hatch coming down as well. Hydrogen still going through. Nice cleanup on the Hellions as Reynor takes a little bit more control for the moment. If he's going down, the few Marines going to go running down the bottom side as well. Looking to jump on that hatchery, so a little bit of counterattacking damage comes through. That Liberator is going to go down to the Spore Crawler, but it's still going to be a good distraction. It has stopped 9 time. Things running across. Marine's going to get lifted back into the medevac. 1 upgrades coming through. It's going to be seeing the +2 Carapace, +1 missiles coming about. The infestation pit coming around as well. Medevac still coming back over. And still stepping forward. Cryptium is still going down. Just going to be seeing the attack coming through. Clem is still pushing forward, getting overlords. No scan is a shame because he could have had a bunch of creep spread there and just denied that. Marine step back, look at Den is coming up, so Reynor surviving through to get to those lurkers, going to be a much more comfortable stage of this game. Marines do get a stimming, getting a few creep tumors. Tech lab about to come up on the factory. Let's just see again a few Marines coming through, the medevacs and the tank coming about. Unloading the top right there. +1 missiles going about. Hydra's on the way. Obviously, again, that lurker den being online means we can start getting sizing spines up. We can start working towards those lurkers and again start making this a much more difficult situation for Clem. Clem is building into the 4th base. His 2-2 upgrade starting. He's going to have to play against Vipers as well. I mean, this really is the scenario where you just want to get toward Ghosts because at this point, Ghosts are just going to be so useful across the board. You know, they're going to be good for sniping lurkers, EMPing and sniping down Vipers. These, you know, Ghosts really just do start to catch everything at this stage of the TVZ, so... Whereas the Ghost Academy now building, Clem identifying that Reynor is on his way to that kind of stage of the game, and he's going to put himself in a position to do something about it. Brings load back into the medevacs. Lurker still building, +2 missiles, +3 carapace coming through, seismic spines. It's going to be done shortly. Tank's going to siege, you're going to be seeing the bottom right, the Ling's going to be there, medevacs pulling away. 2 upgrades coming about, +1 vehicle weapons coming through. Just going to see the Ghosts still producing by. A couple tanks on the way, vehicle weapons building. Have our lurkers setting up right there, as well as the bio joins together. Marines and the medevacs joining up. The creep team is going down, Vipers overhead. Parasitic bomb onto the medevac already, as you just see both those able to split away. We actually get rid of the hatchery, so Reynor going to lose a base. And Clem doesn't lose too many units in that process, so he still has to with 2 full medevac. Super low HP, but they do get away, and that's big. So he gets the hatchery, Reynor. Building 2 new hatches right now, so definitely not in a comfortable kind of base setup. Clem's aggression to those bases have been successful, as we just see the Ling Hydra gathering out the front. Lurkers out. Obviously, Clem has been well on his way towards answers to those. The ghost count is starting to rise. Ghost popping already. Upgrades looking good. And Reynor just now adding the Baneling Nest on, so he's going to have a while to kind of go before he gets Bane speed and stuff as well. It's going to be that to deny a couple of units. Like I said, it's going to make it much harder for Clem to just run around with just bio. At this point, you need to start moving around with bigger armies typically. Especially if Reynor's just kind of left alone, he can just kind of spread and defend with, you know, with a few lurkers here and there. So you need the bigger armies to kind of force more of the lurkers to join up together, and that maybe opens the door for more of the smaller drops to then be effective once more. So there's definitely a couple of ways in which you can make all of that work out. As the melee upgrade, the +3 carapace, all coming through. The Adrenal plan's halfway done. As well for now, I'm just going to get that hatchery building. Both corners of the map. And that is going to be done very shortly here. P3 coming online, Command Center's building. Hydra Lurker just going to knock away, and those rocks going to take some more damage. You get the massive Overseers coming up as well, so detection for days! And also the ability to cloud the skies to make it a little bit more difficult to click through to the units on the ground a lot of the time. See how many more Overseers he wants to make, see if he wants to go full rogue and truly mass the Overseers, or not. My concern for Reynor is that Clem's been comfortable in this game for a long time. You know, his base count has not been hit, his army count has just been fine. He's been the one kind of making the moves and making things happen. You know, it's been good efficiency for Reynor, but Clem has had value out of that efficiency by denying bases. Coming through, a couple change engines go down. We're going to get to the top left. Nothing going to be over there. 6 command centers still building. Fusion core coming up. The starport coming through. Changing, moving about. A couple of mules coming in. Still see the Overseers gathering as Lanebane Hydra joins as well. Top side as Nidus into the main base. Hydra Bane looking to come through. The bio going to be right there. A couple units chase the other direction. It's going to be the Nidus popping up, and it is going to be unloading a couple of lurkers. Yeah, the first ghosts were too close. They were going to get their snipes cancelled, so lurker's going to be annoying. Get a few SCVs, and Reynor going to force Clem to be really far back on the map in this moment. You know, in a game where Reynor obviously has decent crew spread out to halfway, he can very easily jump onto bases if Clem has to overcommit to the main base playing defense here. Taking him a long time to work through these lurkers. Queen's doing their thing, transfusing and making it take even more snipes than originally intended. More lurkers show up, and this main base is still going to be sieged. SCV's going down, and Reynor making a big bid in this main base. Couple more snipes coming through. Lurkers getting hit. Hydra on the right side going to come through. Blinding Clouds coming down. I mean, this is a couple of, not just the base going down, but some of the replacement base is going to drop as well. 23 SCVs now killed. That Nidus in the main has really opened the door for Reynor. Clem is going to be down on supply. Not much money in the bank. Base going down as well, so losing his fifth. What a great move from Reynor. And I really felt like that Nidus was fairly well controlled. Like, Clem was in position to deal with the units as they came out, but Reynor managed to get it in such a way that he actually able to really make use of the units as they popped. Fantastic stuff. And like I say, definitely gives Reynor a good moment or two. A game here where Reynor is trading better than the Terran is a very good sign. Especially now as he starts to get so many more of his bases up and online as well. Because it means that he's really got the mining to just to kind of, you know, stick in this game and to really look good. Oh, he's running again. Reynor just kind of going. A lot of the Lings in the front. It feels like the Bane Hydra is kind of lacking behind. Finally comes up the ramp now to kind of continue playing chase. Bane's going to threaten the Ghost, force them to run away. Lings are cleared to get on top of the tank, and Clem is just not recovering. He's going to even say GG right now. Crazy. GG's. Reynor going to take it to a 2-2. What a... As he was about to clean it up. It was just very well done by Reynor, who took advantage of Clem not getting right on top of it straight away, and really ran that into his favor in the end. GG's. Like I say, we're tied up 2-2 now. Bottom left-hand corner, the red Terran player from Team Liquid is Clem. Top right side from Basilisk is Reynor. And we get Game 5. Winner of this gets onto match point, and will be a map away from a grand final appearance, and avoiding Seraph. For now, at least. Coming up, Iraq's on the way down. There's going to be that earlier gas as well, so Reynor will have access to that. Maybe some aggression on the table for him once again. Hold on, the Reaper still coming through, gets set up. Just have the match joined together. Oh, man, good games. I'm starting to understand why someone asked me if I was going to do the whole thing today. Earlier on. I was just like, yeah, easy. Of course I am. Why? Well, because the games are sick, apparently. Looks like coming. Couple Lings, Queen coming about. We're going to hop up. Queen is going to be there. A couple of Lings are coming around. I'm just going to be seeing the Reaper taking a few shots as the hatchery is about to finish up. Factoring the reactor still coming through. Again, Reaper joining. We get settled. Just seen triple CC from Clem. No surprise there. Reynor not doing much with that early gas, right? Link speed on the way. He mined up to another 100 gas, but not doing anything with it yet. I wonder, is there like a fast lair possibility here? Is there still just kind of saving up for maybe... Okay, Evo chamber coming down. Cool. Couple Lings and the Queen going to be there. Reaper taking damage. Shots coming through. Oh, let's see, Reaper was not destined to survive that, so Reaper will go down. Nothing too wild, though. I'm just looking for some info. Lings do get onto the map. Slow third hatchery from Reynor again, just kind of playing this kind of slower third. Prioritizing the Evo chamber initially. As he gets to 150 gas, I guess we saw Carapace, and we probably look to play a bit of Ling Infesta here again. With that Carapace being such a quick kind of investment early, that seems to be kind of the go-to kind of commitment. We're mining very slowly. He only had one worker on gas, so it's been a very slow approach to 150 gas. Carapace still coming on through. As the Banshee, the Hellions, the Marine all continue to come about. Just going to be seeing the depot, the orbital coming through, the Hellions gathering. Seeing the few Lings and a couple Overlords joining up as well. 18 Zerglings in production right there, bringing those straight through. Just a lot of Lings. Again, the Banshee's going to have Cloak. Again, Hellion Banshee is going to keep you very safe as Clem. But maybe he doesn't really need the Banshees this game to keep him safe. It's only going to be Lings. Not really necessary. Again, that fast Carapace upgrade will give you some options as Reynor. We'll see how he gets aggressive, and we'll see if he can deal with the aggression of Clem as well. Obviously, Hellion Banshee can still come through and kill a bunch of drones. So that's one thing Reynor has to be very turned on against. Just making sure you're not, you know, leaving a gap opening. It doesn't take much for Clem to run through and to absolutely devastate your mineral lines at the end of the day. In fact, it takes very little for Clem to run through and to deal a ton of damage. So that is something you 100% want to stay completely on top of if possible. Lings get through, Marines go down, SCVs and the Mules in trouble. Banshee firing. More of those Lings getting picked away at. SCVs in trouble right now. A couple Lings really do just keep on taking a beating as the Hellions come across. 3 SCVs going down. Cloaking coming up. Engineering base dropping down. Stimpack on the way. And they're still building through. A couple of drones. The Zerglings all coming up. The Hellions are going to be right there to fight against the Queens. And we'll have our 1-1 upgrades all building by. The Banshee's going to get a couple shots off from Queens as well as they run back. Force transfusion. Pulling anything, just trying to stop some of this creep spread coming through the front. Stop some of that creep. You can look very nice for yourself. Hellions going to run through. There's the opening we're looking for, but few Lings are there in the main base. That is going to catch and stop those Hellions for a couple of moments, and that's all we need to take the deadliness away from this. Is Clem diving for only 3 drones in the end. That's 5 Hellions down. But not really that much. Banshees do catch one more drone right there. That's pretty much the big win we're going to get for the moment, it seems. Now the Banshees turn back the other direction. Still just seeing the melee upgrade coming through. Adding on the drones, adding on the Queens. I mean, Reynor just recovering from that very nicely. I say recovering, he actually just dealt with it in the first place very nicely. And now has a little bit of freedom to just drone up. Doesn't need more Zerglings. He knows the Hellions are gone. For now, he is very much so safe. 4 bases coming up. Group spread pushing forward onto the map. And the position in this game just, yeah, very comfortably improves for him. Gets into a nice spot. A couple medevacs do pop out of that medevac. And they are going to be able to come out to the front as well as the 1-1 upgrades and the combat shield continue to gather. Melee and the +2 Carapace coming in, as we do see a couple of hatcheries, couple of spores, all being added on. Banshee's got a creep team in now. Banshee's getting Queens. Good damage done again as the Marines come up. The medevacs are going to be there. A couple of creep tumors. Hatchery going to be in some trouble as we do take a stim into this. A couple of Zerglings immediately in some trouble as well. Pull back, a couple of Zerglings going down. The Queen's going to step through again. That was a nice fight from Clem. Reynor apparently not quite ready for the actual just Marine army. Gets the hatchery in the end as well. And that is a kill, not a cancel. So minus 275 for Reynor, who is then going to be not happy with that. I mean, that was just Clem coming in and showing up, and just, like I say, just Reynor was moments away from being ready, I guess. Position was obviously good from Clem too, helped him out a lot. There's a Banshee still poking on the right-hand side, just trying to find still some extra bits of pieces of damage here and there, if at all possible. Marine medevac tank coming up. We see the Lings running through. The Marine's going to load back in the medevacs and run away. And load back into the center. Hive on the way. Infestors on the way. 2-2 upgrades coming about as well. Additional Zerglings coming about. Tank already in the front. The Ling run by, though, looks dangerous. We obviously do have a second layer of walls up into the main base, but that doesn't save the SCVs on the natural, obviously. Clem just running forward. He says, if that's enough, so many Lings on that side, what if I just run through? Do you have enough? Infesta shows itself, looking for the fungal. Clem's only lost 11 SCVs on the other side. Honestly felt like that could have been worse. Took a while to get toward 11 as well, so Reynor did lose all those Lings. That's just not being effective enough, because Clem didn't pull back to deal with it. He's kept on pushing, and Reynor is clearly suffering from not having enough stuff here to really stop Clem at all. He needs a massive fungal. It's difficult to get those fungals when the tanks are sieged and zoning you out. Your gold base in the front could go down here as well. That would be, Reynor push back to 3 bases. That fungal hits a spread group of Marines, so it's not really all it's made out to be. It's not that great for you. Here we go again. Ling's running forward. Tank shot still good. The Marines firing back, and we see a couple of Queens trying to hold their ground as well, but that's not quite happening just yet either. He's going to fire. Banshee just going to help it onto the gold base. We're only like a fungal away from so many of these Marines going down. The medevacs are completely out of energy. And in the end, Reynor will push Clem back, force him to lift up and fall back, at least to the siege tanks here. The reality, though, is, you can probably just see it, is that Reynor's supply is absolutely terrible compared to where you want it to be right now. And Clem with super low HP Marines, I mean, that's how little Reynor has. He's running forward with super low health Marines, getting rid of an Infestor, forcing the Zerglings to run back into tank fire. The reinforcements are arriving, and there's just no way. With double army supply, Clem is not going to drop this game 5 from here. And it's going to be Clem's match point advantage heading into the next game of the map. That will be, as, yeah, Reynor obviously was 0-2 down. Really got the momentum back on his side, but Clem able to reset a little bit after that game 4. This game 5 looking very solid and eating some fungals right now. But even with eating fungals, I don't think it's enough to truly lose them this. The Infestors only have so much energy. There really is just, a few too many Marines for these Infestors to handle on their own. GG's, jump in. It's going to be in the bottom right side. The blue Zerg, who's now down up again. There's a Reynor up against the red Terran. Bottom left, Team Liquid's Clem. Max coming through, hatching the drone coming about, gas on the way as well. Just got ourselves the Overlord producing through for the moment. Reynor purposely doesn't make Banes versus new strat as versus Clem. Yeah, this style he played there was just Ling Infestor. Like, it's a purposeful choice. You skip Banes throughout the entire game to basically afford Infestors and to get fast Ultras with a very early Carapace upgrade. We saw how effective it could be in the previous game. But yeah, this time he was honestly just not quite ready for that drop in, and killing the 4th base was kind of a big deal. So not quite being ready for that, and then obviously he had a really good run by. It just, the run by did not do enough, and Clem didn't turn around. I think the run by needs to hit sooner, because if the run by hits earlier, before Clem is set up and positioned on the base, I think Clem turns around to go clean it up. Whereas in this case, Clem was already set up, and he's like, well, I'm just going to stim forward and attack you then, because you don't have a lot of stuff, because loads of your Lings are on the other side of the map, right? So, yeah, I think Clem just making some good decisions, and Reynor maybe a little bit off with when the run-bys needed to hit and the distractions had to come through. Didn't quite get those where they needed to be in time at the end of the day, I think, is what we can really summarize it as.
20k Maestros. 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 20k Maest
Hatchery comes down on the right side. Third base coming online. No funky positioning of bases here yet. No early gold base. No one mining out the minerals to play the bottom half of the map, which is a possibility on this one as well. We're coming back around the other side. A couple of drones gonna take some shots. We'll get a grenade off. CC's building, Queen's on the way. We got the hatchery at it as well. And there's the gold base on location from Clem, so greedy third. Against a Zerg player who's played gasless, so it works. I imagine that's why he's done this, right? Does he have that info? He hasn't been in the main. Maybe just the timing of the third base and so on, though. Yeah, I think he's just very aware of the timing of things here, and so Clem is like, cool. If you're not going to have an early link speed, I can just take my third on location on the gold, and so Clem is going to be responding to kind of greed with greed. I like it for Clem because I feel like getting to a gold base early as a Terran is going to be so lovely. And like I said, there's just nothing that Reynor can currently do to really stop that. I mean, link speed is going to be able to start soon. We're at 60 gas. Rework is mining the 1 gas that just got built up in the natural recently. Ripper taking a couple of shots. Queen's gathering together. The Hellions still on the way. Evo Chamber being added on. Take a double Evo Chamber. Link speed building. So yeah, both those Evo Chambers coming up. Drones on the way. Looking pretty cozy there for the moment as the Queens gather together right now. And yeah, Banshee and Cloaking continue to just come on through. We get this all settled. Thanks to building again, the drones and the Queen coming about. Just going to be seeing the Hellions and the Reaper just joining up. Queen's going to throw down a few more creep tumors. Poke on the way, the Banshee coming about there. Let's see a couple of barracks coming through. The Hellions are going to step forward, hit the Queens for a couple of moments. Again, link speed joining up. It's going to be having the lab building through, spores coming about. Everything looking very regular, but of course it's going to be one of the slower paced games. This is a map, maybe not a map, but a scenario where you maybe do want to try and dive in with the Hellions because there's a lot of time where link speed is just not there. But at the same time, because you've taken that super forward gold base early as Clem, like if this was another scenario where Clem hadn't responded to greed with greed, I think he would have been more aggressive with the Hellions. But because of the way that he's playing, he wants to make sure these Hellions stay alive because there's so much value to making sure his gold base isn't denied. And what denies his gold base is losing the Hellions and opening up the counterattacks, right? Hellions are going to do a very neat trick there. Friendly fire the Reaper. He saw where the creep tumor was. Friendly fire on the Reaper. The splash damage gets rid of the creep tumor. It's a nice kill without having to scan and does deny an active tumor. Very nicely done. A very cute little play from Clem. There's 1-1 upgrades and the stim continue to come about for a moment or so. Just going to be seeing a couple of barracks still added on. Both players in that build-up phase of this game right now. Clem just trying to deny creep. Reynor trying to establish it. Reynor, because he's playing this right side, is just going to go to the top right base. One of the best parts of this map here from the Zerg now is going to be that these 4 bases obviously coming down in a line. It's very hard to push into any of them as the Terran with the main on. Like, none of these bases are positioned forward, and that's going to be a question mark as to which base Clem aims for later in the game. And if you can really get to any, like, you can push the top right side, but it puts you in a very scary alleyway that you can be surrounded on as well. As the Hellions and the Queens still join up together. And she's pulling back through. Gather up for the moment. Hellions going to get after a couple of those creep tumors. And she's firing a few drones going down. Now the upgrades coming about. Baneling Nest coming through, about halfway done. The additional Lings coming in as well. Still got the 1-1 upgrades. Combat Shield, Marine Medevac building online for the moment. Roaches join in. Melee upgrades coming up. Just going to be seeing the drones building. The Marines building through, the armory coming about, pushing to the center. Wouldn't mind going to burrow for the moment. Bat's going to fly, a couple of Roaches going down. Wouldn't mind's going to get some decent connections. Roach is going to be a bit tankier against those, but we're not really looking to play for these Roaches for the most part. Just the Carapace helping them be on the map right now. The main idea is going to be that Baneling speed and getting up to that. So it's going to be Bane speed, it is going to be melee upgrades finishing and continuing from this point. And we do have an Infestation pick coming online to start giving us some additional tech as well. We're just going to go straight to Hive. Do we add a couple of Infestors? Reynor doesn't have the gas for Infestors right now. Morphing Ravagers as he tries to set up against this. Clem's just already having that army supply lead. Is going to start taking this fight. Widowmines will begin to burrow. Big fight for Clem. Feels very favorable for him. A lot of units just went down, and his units just stand strong and tight. We're going to fight. A couple of Roaches still coming through. The Queen's going to be there as well. And he's going to trade. A couple of Queens taking damage still. The Widowmines yet to fire those ones further back, and I will say as well that these Marines are starting to get a little low. There's the reinforcement wave though. So right now having enough to push through this. Bane speed done, but no Banelings left on the map. Trying to Corrosive Bile down the Widowmines to avoid that splash. Roaches and the Queen still gathering up. 2-2 melee upgrades coming online. Ling Roach Ravager building as well. Marine step forward, a couple of the Roaches going down. The Zerglings dropping. Medevac sitting overhead. Roach Ravager still hanging around there. The Marine's going to stem back. More Biles. Going into place. Another Corrosive Bile hitting a mine. Obviously, it's funny because this is mostly Roaches, but the mines are doing good work. They're cleaning up the Lings that do get in front, and if a Roach does walk into the mines, the splash damage is helping. And behind this is now moving towards his 4th base, remember, so he is getting toward base 4. This is not just a big 3-base shove that needs to win out. It was, 8 racks. It was commitment to kind of pushing forward, but Clem having to kind of start macroing behind it a little bit too. So Reynor is right to just be only just hanging on, but he needs to start doing better now that Clem is heading towards his 4th. It's definitely going to become an issue. Obviously, again, Clem was powered up off that gold base early as well, giving him an extra little bit of oomph in this game. Coming back through, the overworld's going to be right there. The Ling's going down. Queens and Roaches moving about a little bit also. It's going to be seeing the Corrosive Bile trying to land in toward the Medevacs. Biles, Banes pull back. Still seeing the concussive shells, the vehicle plating coming up as well. Stepping back into this, Marines and Marauders stepping back again. The Banes now having to fight in off creep, not ideal. Some of them even getting slowed up by that concussive shells right now. As we see the rest of the bio still standing there. A couple of Banelings going down, they just can't reach this army. There's not enough of them, even with a little bit of a creep launching pad. Clem pulls back again. 10 supply lead now for Clem. It's been a very long kind of wrestle between these two on the supplies. It's been pretty close throughout, but I really think right now the lack of Banes is becoming more of a problem, especially as there's just more and more bio. The Roach Ravager seems to be doing less and less. And don't forget, those Roaches don't have missile upgrades either. It's only melee upgrades in this game for Reynor, so the Roach Ravager is not hitting as hard as you might think it is. And that's definitely a problem. Pulling back once again, another Widowmine shot goes off. Overseer goes down. Queen's falling, still got some Banes. A new round of them. Can they break through? Can they actually reach those units? So far, it really still seems like the answer to that is no. Overseer flying in overhead. The Ling Bane Roach still pushing forward. Ravager stepping through as well. Just going to be seeing another Corrosive Bile coming down toward those mines. 3-3 coming through. Bio pulling back. Roach Ravager still going to be there. More back and forth. We are just going to be seeing the bio still stepping through. The Medivacs overhead healing. Man, this bio's been orange health the whole way through. Maybe it's a sign that Clem is on fire with the micro, because he is really being good at just keeping this engagement going. You know, we've been watching this position on the map. Just remember, Clem set up the 4th base behind this. He's macroing. He's, you know, adding on 3-3. He's doing very, very well for himself so far. A couple of Banes again just do not manage to reach. He steps through and then splits against the bios. I thought he was just going to run through, but he does a beautiful split instead. Now about a 15-ish supply lead, so again, it's been a very slow-going scenario. Reynor's done a great job, by the way. He's actually gotten to Hive. He's actually gotten to +3 upgrades behind this. I don't think that's easy to do in a scenario that gets as drawn out as this. You probably don't expect someone to kind of feel the ability to get a Hive up and online. But at the end of the day, it is going to help him. Actually being able to match the upgrades is a big factor. I think Roach going to be there. Bio pulling back. Couple of Banes lifting. The 3-3 upgrades coming through. The Lingers are building on. A hatchery build coming up. Can we survive as Reynor? A couple of Biles not actually really helping much. The Widowmine does get a shot off. We've got Libs showing up as well. It's just more issues for Reynor. Like, Libs are not something he's ready to deal with at all. He's got Vipers, though. I tell you what, some parasitic bombs on the Medivacs and bringing those low HP Medivacs down. Wow, beautiful splits. Instant splits. He doesn't even lose the low HP Medivacs in the clump. Bio now jumping in toward the main base. A little drop over there as wow. Clem right-clicks this hatchery. He's going to get it. Just about gets away alive. Medivac still boosting through. Another couple of biles. The Liberator is just going to relocate itself. We'll eat another bile, but I don't think there's enough to kill it. Yeah, we needed 2. That was only 1. Command center to the upper left corner. That's a lot of units in production. I mean, Clem's going to go towards the 5th base. Remember, his gold is obviously mined out from early in this game because he's been having it for so long, so getting that top left is important. You have to get it quickly. I mean, it just feels like Clem. We're back here. We've been in this position. We may as well camera hotkey this as an observer because all the fights have happened around here, but this one is different than the rest because this time you truly see Clem is beginning to punch on through and take this out. The Dio continues to step forward. The Ravagers and Roaches going down. The Overseer falling. The +3 melee upgrade is going to be denied. And there's just no hope, right? A couple of Biles will force Clem back rather than just standing there and trading with the Zerglings. As the Lings try and run in, they're running into mines, and game is called. Clem gets a victory, 4-2. Nicely done. And very well handled. I mean, just constant pressure, keeping it going. Found himself back on his feet, restabilized the mental game after, you know, being 2-0 up and losing out to get to 2-2. Clem takes this one. And Clem